Boom. Did I scare you? I know. You're a coward. I know. We can be honest. You're a coward. You're a wuss. No, but I'm just here because we are 14 episodes into this show and we are really close to the merge. So I've been wanting to know because while I get a fair amount of views on these videos for my Total Drama Multiverse series, I don't get too many comments outside of Twin Bro Wolves and Kai. Shout out, I guess, but Twin Bro Wolves is used to getting shout outs and I've responded to a lot of Kai's comments. I don't get too many comments on these, so I've been wondering how are y'all that are actually watching these consistently, like who are y'all rooting for? That's what I want. I want y'all to choose one male and one female contestant before the merge that y'all are rooting for, and just comment below. You can comment why, you can comment anything extra, you can comment anything about the season, but at least you can even just put the two names. But yeah, I've been wanting to know. I've been a little curious about that. But I've already been I've been yapping for longer than I need to, and I will let y'all enjoy the episode now. All right, goodbye. Hello and welcome to episode 14 of Total Drama Multiverse. I'm filming this at 9:54 at night. However, I do have to go to sleep at 11 so I can wake up for school. So I might actually record and edit this tonight and then make the thumbnail and upload it tomorrow morning. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't premiere until 3 o'clock anyway. The only reason I'm not waiting is because I don't get out of school till 3:55. So obviously, that's after 3. So I'm going to get it done now. But I know most of y'all don't care about that, so let's get into the actual episode. We start with the pre-challenge section. There's not too much going on here that wasn't going on already, outside of, I'd say, Dipper just really feels betrayed by Fritz. And Fritz is trying to make it up to Dipper, because Fritz has made it clear both in confessional and to Dipper and to Monica and Izuku that Fritz does not want to take out Dipper next. Fritz is still fully on Dipper's side. He just feels like Jax was such a bad influence to Dipper, and he doesn't want Dipper to go down that path. He still is trying to be on Dipper's side though. And then Dipper is taking his time to heal, and he's talking about how he feels betrayed, and he'll, if he's able to, he'll get Fritz out at this point. So yeah, and then Monica and Izuku are just feeling really, really good right now because they're just vibing, and they've gotten a lot closer recently in general. Like, even by closer, I mean, like, they're pretty much boyfriend-girlfriend at this point. I wouldn't say it's official just yet, but, like, it's official without being official, you know what I mean? On the Rifted Ravens, Luz is still hanging out with Ezekiel and Toph, and Ezekiel and Toph have been trying to figure out a way where they could, figure out how to save Luz. I'd say Toph would probably be like, I could just injure one of the other 3. And Luz is like, no, that's so mean and cruel. And she's like, okay, I can see that happening in one of the episodes. But she tells them about how how Ashley is planning to stay with her so that she doesn't get cooked by Peter and Tails. And Toph says she doesn't trust it, but Ezekiel says Luz needs to take what she can get. So yeah, Luz is happy about that. Ashley is just kind of sitting on her own, not with the guys or Luz, Ezekiel and Toph. And the guys are just vibing, talking about how good they feel that they've literally, like, they have, like, a confirmed spot to merge, basically, between Tails' idol, Ashley's loyalty, and having the easy boot off and Luz. Like, it's just, it's free. It's free all around. So then there is the Warped Weasels, and on the Warped Weasels, there's not too much going on. I mean, like I said, Ezekiel and Toph are sitting with Luz, In and Scary Girl are vibing, and Marcy, I don't know why she's over here. Marcy, so Marcy sits down, at the table, and at first Ezekiel and Toph are like, why are you here? And Marcy's like, well, I don't really have anywhere else to sit now that Green Shadow's gone, so I thought I'd just sit with here. And I mean, they don't really care, but I'd see Luz and Marcy start bonding a lot more, and because of that, and the fact that their cross-team alliance has already been discovered, and Marcy, being as smart as she is not going to forget something like that. She's like, can I just be in y'all's alliance? Because and Luz is like, yes, please, please. And at first Toph doesn't want it, but Ezekiel's and Toph both don't want it, but they're like, fine, whatever. So now Marcy's part of the alliance, and Luz and Marcy are better friends. But yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for the pre-challenge section. So we can get to our challenge section. And we have a pretty interesting challenge today. And our challenge is Challenge 10, Suspension of Trust. Goated name, by the way. A player must choose their closest ally to guide them across a rope suspended above an 100-foot drop blindfolded. There will be cannons shooting at them that they will have to avoid. Like they'll be shooting at them while they're on the rope. The team that has their duos finish last loses, and then the person sitting out is Marcy, because everyone's just gonna go with their duos, which I'll explain in a second. But Marcy, Ezekiel, and Toph are still gonna be a freaking incel duo, even though Toph's the girl, it's still an incel duo. And then obviously In and Scary Girl are gonna go with each other. So Marcy's like, I contribute a lot to the team anyway. That's probably fine. So there's we get to the first set, which is, we'll just go in order of how I have them right here. And the first set is Dipper and Fritz. Obviously, Dipper doesn't really have another option because Monica and Izuku are gonna obviously go for each other. So he's like Fritz is trying to talk to him, but Dipper is just ignoring him the entire time. And then Luz is with Ashley, and Ashley is really trying to bond well with Luz, and Luz and Ashley are talking about stuff Ashley really doesn't care about, but she's just trying to make Luz feel happy so that Luz doesn't try anything. And then Peter and Tails obviously are just the nerd boys. The Warped Weasels happen, and Ezekiel and Toph and Scary Girl are just both buddy with each other. So yeah. Then there is the first round, and that's going to be we'll mix it up just like we did last time. We'll do this. So for the Rifted Ravens, Luz and Ashley go. And by the way, I don't know if they clarified this with the rules, but both team members have to go over. So once one person makes it over, the next person has to make it over and go. Actually, I think the best way to do this will be just which duo I think will finish in order quickest. So, and I think that would probably be the people with the best skills would probably be In and Scary Girl, because I feel like they like really bond. They both understand each other a lot, and they'd be able. And also, I think In would probably be able to see through the blindfold, if I'm being completely honest. And it's not like freaking Chris can do anything about that. So I think it would they'd probably be the first group to do it. The next group, I think they'd be able to do it. Couple goals over here. Between Monica and Izuku, I think they'd probably take a little bit longer than they need to, just because, I mean, they're just like flirting half the time, and I think maybe that because of that Izuku will fall like once. And then who's next? I think the next team to make it will probably be Luz and Ashley, just because I think they will be able to just both lock in on the game. Luz is a good communicator, and Ashley, I mean, she's just probably good with the balance. I don't think they'd be hit by the cannons or anything. Oh, by the way, I think Scary Girl would probably get hit by a cannon on purpose and still hang on. So yeah, I forgot to say, I think that would happen. And then our fourth team to finish, I think would actually be Ezekiel and Toph. obviously Ezekiel's not that bright, and I think would be the one that really screws it up. But I think what would be really, really funny, and actually the initial reason why I chose to do a challenge like this, is I think it'd be really funny if Chris came up to Toph with a blindfold, looked at her, and just went, "Actually, it doesn't even matter, never mind," and just walked away. And Toph would just be like, "Really?" I think that'd be funny. So yeah, that's gonna give the Warped Weasels immunity. I just realized this is gonna be a pretty short episode. But we still have the Rifted Ravens and the Crooked Crocs. And how I think this is gonna go is Peter and Tails have been extremely overconfident recently. And I mean, like, they're just vibing, having fun, not really trying. Because even if they lose is the one that's out next. And then it's Ashley. So they are just fine. Plus, Tails and Peter both have incredibly good things. And while Peter makes it across, like, they have incredibly good powers, I mean. While Peter makes it across easily due to his Spidey sense, Tails and him screw around too much to the point where Tails actually, because he's not allowed to fly, obviously, just like N wasn't, Tails is actually really holding them back at this point. Neither of them even realize that they're the last two until Ashley comes and knocks some sense into them. Because of that, we have the other team, which is the Crooked Crocs, where Dipper's just been refusing to listen to Fritz. Fritz is like trying to listen for callouts because he's refusing to talk to Fritz. And while Dipper's already across, Fritz just keeps getting hit over and over again with the cannonball, and Dipper's just not saying anything. So Fritz is like, "Dude, what is it gonna get you to freaking agree or to freaking work with me here?" And Dipper's like, "How about you start with not making decisions for me?" And they end up getting in a whole argument, and it ends with freaking Cannonball hitting Foxy or Fritz in the face, and he falls off. But I think Dipper would make it pretty clear that he hates having his life controlled, as he honestly didn't even, I mean, he's glad he went because of the whole experience, but his parents forced him to go to the summer camp. He didn't want to, or not even the summer camp, the, what is it called? The Gravity Falls. His parents control so much of his life. Yes, it's just kind of headcanon, screw it. It doesn't matter. And he hates being controlled. And Fritz is like, "Oh, well, and then before he can finish, he gets hit in the face. But when he comes back up, Dipper's like, "Yeah, I need to mature. I need to lock in, or else I'm just going to be the one that gets voted out tonight." So Dipper like finally sucks it up. He says that in confessional, by the way. He sucks it up and he starts calling it out, and then they end up right when they're about to make it. Tails and Peter realize how like close they really are. That's about the time Ashley knocks sense into him, and it comes really close. But I think the people who actually are going to lose this challenge are the Rifted Ravens. I believe they will lose this challenge due to Peter and Tails' overconfidence, which, by the way, I don't know how much of that I've played into over the past couple episodes, but that has been something they've been getting more and more confident every episode, especially since they got the idols and were able to, in their mind, successfully work Ashley. But yeah, after the challenge, nothing much happens on the Warped Weasels, so we don't really need to talk about them right now. However, on the Crooked Crocs, Monica and Izuku are really going in on Dipper, and Fritz is like, "Look, he's clearly going through something. Just let him chill." And he's like trying to defend. He's trying to defend Dipper, and Monica's like, "Whose side are you on?" And Izuku's like, "Well, they have been friends." And Monica's like, "Oh, whatever." And then Monica storms off. Obviously, it's not like a big deal. It's just an argument that they have, and it just makes Dipper more against them, more against Izuku and Monica. It makes Monica more against Dipper and Fritz. It makes Fritz more against... It basically just, outside of Izuku, who kind of feels bad for Dipper, it basically just puts that divide right there and makes the divide a lot stronger. And then as for the Rifted Ravens, Luz comes up one final time because she's been really nervous waiting for elimination. Because she comes up to Ashley and she's like, Ashley, be honest with me. Are you serious? And Ashley's like, I put that on my dead horses. And Luz, knowing that Ashley would keep her word on something like that, calms down. So we come to elimination, where Peter comes up to Tails and is like, dude, I think you really need to play your idol. And Tails is like, why would I need to play my idol? And Ashley's like, Peter's like, I overheard Ashley talking to Luz. They're planning on blindsiding us and voting me out tonight. And Tails is like, are you sure? And Peter's like, yes, I heard them. Ashley and Luz are voting me tonight. Please play it. And Tails is like, okay. So the votes are in, and Tails is like, wait, Chris, let me play this idol for Peter. And he's like, all right, every vote against Peter will not count. Also, whenever an idol is played in this season, you get to see the votes read aloud. That doesn't normally happen, but when the idol is played, you get to see the votes read aloud. So the first vote is for Luz. The second vote is for Luz. The third vote is for Tails. The fourth vote is for Tails. It is now a tiebreaker between Luz and Tails. And Tails is like, what the hell? And Peter's like, I swear I'm not lying. They literally said, overheard him saying that. And Ashley's like, yeah, well, I'm sorry, pal. But we both knew you were going to be listening in because Peter's been taking a suspicion to Ashley and Luz talking more and more. So they both faked it, and they both acted like they basically played 4D chess and made Peter think that they were voting Peter. So they flushed Tails' idol. So now it's basically just Luz versus Tails. And for the tiebreaker challenge, I think we take a page out of Survivor's book and do a fire making contest. And while you may at first say, oh, freebie, that's just gonna be Tails. Then because Tails is really smart. Well, actually, it looks like Tails is gonna obviously win, and Luz is freaking out, right? Until out of nowhere, her thing just gets set ablaze, and she wins. And everyone is so confused why, though. But Chris, who is really exhausted, by the way, because he's still recovering from what had happened a couple days beforehand. He's really exhausted from that whole episode. He's just like, ugh, doesn't matter. I need more sleep. Because he's gotten sickness from traveling the multiverse too much without the proper gear. So he's gotten he feels super sick because of it. He's been groggy the past 2 episodes, and he's slowly going to be getting over it. So he's just doesn't matter to me. And Tails is asked by Chris if he wants to continue for a chance to wait for the comeback, or if he wants to be sent home. And Tails says he had a lot of fun. He really hopes he sees Peter, but he thinks he's done. And that's going to be the end of Tails. I don't think Tails would want to continue competing. I think he'd miss his friends too much, like Sonic and Amy, Knuckles, all them. And I think he will have thought that he had a sufficient amount of playtime. So he's happy with his time on the show, and he doesn't think he needs to continue. So yeah, Peter got a really big reality check, and the episode ends with a confessional from Luz, and she looks up at the camera, and she says, "Guys, I just did magic. Yeah. So we will pick up on that and other stuff in the next episode. But until then, that's gonna be all for now. So I will catch you then. That was a terrible outro. I just yapped over myself for like 30 seconds. Whatever. Goodbye.